So what do we get? Nili on the left hand side playing Bengalis, Fedex on the right hand side playing Malay. We have our standard start over here, no 9 villager shenanigans, so this is gonna be a little bit of a longer one to get to the action. However, we can start by talking about the map generation, the civilizations, and let's start with the map generation actually, shall we? So Fedex on the right hand side, he's got 1 gold very close to the TC, he's got 1 stone very close to the TC as well, it's all good and dandy. Then the stone outside the walls is going to be kind of forwardish. At the very least, it's closer to Nili's side than it would be if it were on the back, right? As for the gold and the stone that we have on the right-hand side over here, those are going to be safe for the time being. That's something that he could potentially try to go for in later stages of the game, and it's not something he should have to worry about Nili putting any pressure against, as it's most likely not going to be all action around the south of the map. As for Nili's map generation, we'll see that the red player... okay, so he does have also 1 gold over here. This gold is probably better than Fedex's, if you keep in mind that if Nili puts some pressure over here from the south of Fedex's base, that gold gets pretty much immediately denied. While Nili's gold, on the other hand, is going to be much safer. Not only is it farther away from the walls, but it's also behind the TC. For stone, it's going to be on the right hand side next to the TC, and then we have 1 forward stone outside the walls for Nili. But he's got a side gold, and he does have a neutral gold very close to his base as well. So now technically this doesn't really belong to Nili, but the fact that it's so close to his base is actually really good, because in the future, even if he ended up getting some resources denied by Fedex, he would always have the possibility to go for a TC over here and continue collecting from this area, so that's good. Anyway, don't really anticipate anyone to really try and put any pressure this early into the match. So far, it's been pretty tidy for both guys. Basically no idle TC time. I don't know, I trust him more than me. He plays chess tourneys. I don't... Oh, you're talking about Fedex? Yeah. Fedex in top 500. 2700 is already better than top 100. Damn! Bets were on for a little bit over there. I don't know if they are... I think they might have finished already. Anyway... Yeah, this is gonna be a fairly quiet one. For the time being, anyway. And it's not the first one. Oh, it's not. It is the first one, but it's not gonna be the only one. We also have the wall afterwards. So, Malay, we talked about the possibility of going up faster in order to get the eco upgrades earlier. And he is still kind of on time to do that. We're gonna find out very soon that's the case. Oh! And Fedex is about to lose the battle over here. He stopped the scout to keep the gate open, and in doing so, he allowed Nili to get 1 extra hit a little bit sooner, so now the scout is pretty much gone. It takes a few direction changes for the scout chasing to catch up. Yeah, kind of like this. Okay, so I don't think Fedex is going to lose the scout anymore. But this is not good. Now, he cannot, like, with peace of mind, send the scout out to get some scouting done. And if you take a look at the scouting information, that's not really a whole lot. He saw 1 relic over here to the south, and then there's another relic over here close to Nili's base on the left hand side. But he's not found the rest yet. He doesn't know where the neutral resources are either. This is his goal, technically. This is 1 neutral goal, and I think that's about it. And Nili, it's not like he's got a lot of extra HP to work with the scout, but at the very least he knows that if he ever runs into Fedex's scout, so long as he's paying attention, he should be able to come out on top. So he's finding the stone in front of Fedex as well. He has found the same secondary gold that Fedex already got vision of, and he is bound to find the relic, I believe. Yeah, he's going there, so he's going to find it. Well done. Fuel H is actually on the way for Nili, going up on 23 workers. So this is gonna be a standard fast castle for him. It's gonna get bumped to 25 workers by the time he gets to the village. Fedex, on the other hand, is gonna choose to go up with a stronger economy and at a little bit later time, actually. Yeah, because this is already past 60%. You can only catch up to your opponent's civilization if you're playing with Malay and going up before they get to 40%. Otherwise, you're going up a little bit later anyway. Village on the way for Fedex. Could potentially catch up if he goes to the castle age right away. But Nili should pop the building, so we have the market and the blacksmith pretty standard, as expected. He's collecting already some gold over here as well. Fedex, on the other hand, yeah, is gonna go up with a little bit of a stronger economy over here. This is transitory. Remember, by the time he gets to the castle age, that's probably gonna put him one villager ahead of Nili, as Nili is going to catch up by 4 villagers, and going up to feudal and castle age usually puts you ahead by 5 for the Malay. And interestingly enough, he's going for a barracks here. Notice this is because of the scout skirmish we had earlier. If Fedex hadn't stopped the scout over here and allowed Nili to get 1 extra hit, it wouldn't be quite as pressured to get some more military presence around the map, of course. Now Nili's going up to the castle age already, and Fedex is getting a blacksmith and a stable indeed. So he's gonna try to get some map control. That's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Anyway, remember, if he manages to click up before Nili gets to 40%, he catches up. It's basically a wash, but yeah, this is so close though. 130, 130. Yeah. He will, in the end, stay ahead by 1 villager as expected. This is so close though. I don't think I ever saw this going up so close at the same time with the Malay before. But yeah, Nili, as we were saying before, he's got one of the better civilizations to kind of mitigate the Malay advantage over here as he gets the extra villagers himself. If this was any other civ for Nili, that would have been rough. And ditto for Fedex as well, so I guess it does make sense that these are the civilizations for the first matchup over here. When thinking about some of the other potential choices for both these players, specifically like the Spanish, for instance, for Nili, I think he had them. I was thinking more along the lines of going forward, full aggression, and try to prevent civilizations such as the Malay from getting ahead, right, and trying to go for economy. But in the end, it's not gonna be the case. Instead, we have the second TC on the way for Nili already. First things he gets to the castle age, and a monastery on the way as well, while Fedex gets the monastery up first. He prioritizes it. If he didn't go for this one, he would have been able to pop a second TC. Now he's gonna have to wait a little bit more. And this is good. In the end, Nili catches up. Should be able to catch up. The work account's gonna be the same. And if Fedex doesn't go for the extra TC, then Nili could potentially even start pulling ahead. Wow. It's amazing that Nil Scout over here got so much value so far. Look at all the scouting information he got compared to Fedex. Fedex is now getting some extra scouting with the extra scouts, but yeah, Nil got actually a lot of value out of this one. Oh, and the scout goes down in the end. Nice knife from Fedex. Now he's got vision inside Nil's base. Yeah, I don't know about sending the scout inside the walls though. Now Fedex knows exactly what's up. And Nili's got the second TC. Yeah, and the monk came in a little bit too late. He already started giving some vision away. Fedex with a forward siege workshop. No extra TCs yet to be seen. He's got the resources, but it seems he's gonna opt instead to go for full aggression here. Bengalis, once again, very strong monks. Should be able to defend over here. He's gonna need redemption, of course. I don't think he's gone for it yet. How did the TC not hit the first 2 volleys? Nearly luck, man. What I'm wondering now, though, is does Fedex have a monastery of his own? The Malay, they don't have the best monks, but in the Castle Age, I think they are fine. So Malay don't get what is fervor, I think, right? That the one so that they walk faster. He doesn't have that. What else? He does get heresy, actually the only civilization with elephants to get heresy. So he doesn't have fervor, he does not have theocracy, I just checked. Those are basically the only things, but he's already sniping one relic. He already took the relic down the south, by the way, so that's gonna be the second one. And then up in the north. I don't know if he sees these. He sees two, that's good. Nili does not seem to be particularly interested in going after the relics up in the north, and I don't even know if he sees those. He sees only one. So in the end, it's gonna be, what, 5 relics for Fedex? Wow, and he's now adding the third TC as well. The second one already came up close to the wood. The aggression is coming in as he's got light cavalry now. Nili's going for redemption. But is this something you wanted to get a few minutes ago, actually? I think it might be the case because he's already broken through. He can come in with the light cavalry, and that's the issue, right? If you have access to the monks with light cavalry, then your monks are pretty much powerless against siege. So he's got redemption, but the units are already coming in, and Fedex shouldn't have to worry about this too much. Just gonna be a few extra resources to get a few extra scouts out, then send those forward, and the monks all of a sudden, they should not be relevant anymore, but he got the conversion. How? And he gets the snipe! This has just turned 180 degrees for Nili in the last minute or so, but now, here come the light cavalry. We're gonna see one monk going down. I think so. Yes, sir. One conversion connected only. Both monks use faith over there, I think. And in the end, is a hit. My lord, he lost one monk. He got the light cavalry. He took both light cavalries down from Fedex. He is staying competitive with villager count over here. He's rewalling over here. Wow, that's just so much value. That was actually not bad. That was actually not bad. I really thought that Fedex had a massive lead just by breaking through and coming in with light cavalry. Damn. We see the monks going over to collect the relics as well. That's gonna be the fourth one. Third one is already on the way. And the fifth one he doesn't know about. Yeah, but Nili doesn't know about this one either, so I don't expect him to send the monk over, which means Fedex got plenty of time to go and collect the final one. This is really interesting though. Yeah, the other count has been Nili's kryptonite, right? In the last few series. Even against Stark, we noticed last week that he had the same issue. But he was able to get some good value out of it at the very least, and he's not really falling behind too much, right? It's only one villager despite the egregious high TC count. Notice Town Watch and outposts coming out for Nili. He tried to get the conversion against the Siege Workshop, and Fedex did the right thing in deleting these buildings. He doesn't want to give Nili any extra value, but we can expect this villager to eventually get a Siege Workshop for himself. And this is going to be a lot harder for Fedex to defend because of what we noticed before about the map generation. Notice the gold over here is pretty much immediately available. You take this down, and this is already exposed. We don't have any TCs over there or anything. And the only other gold that Fedex has access to is this one up in the north, which is accessible, but not technically protected yet. It does have a lot of stone miners though, so we'll see a castle come out for Fedex, a defensive one, very soon. And you gotta expect that one to come up around here, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. He beat me to it, but I was just going to draw one here. So he gets the castle up there, and he's able to defend the gold over here. The foresight from Fedex has been really good this game as well. The minute he got pushed away from Nili's side of the map, he already started working towards kind of a contingency plan over here to retain access to his resources. That is a lot of monks, and we have the one elephant ram here, the armor elephant. Reaching through, he's already been able to come in, or he's already been able to break through rather, but he cannot really come in just yet. Maybe he could send a few monks over and try to get some conversions against the villagers, but it's kind of high risk, right? Because if you go for a few walls over here, by the time these houses get converted so the monks can't come out, it's possible for him to go maybe for a few light cavalry and try to clean those up. No, he doesn't have a stable. Oh, he does have a stable, what I'm talking about. Don't like to delete the houses, blight time, and monk juice are worth the resources than a bit of wood. I think that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he could have bought some time. Yeah, by having the monks recharge. But I think that actually didn't really make that much of a difference. I don't think it was too impactful. It was going to come at the cost of like giving Nili extra houses and saving him, or sparing him the resources to go for extra himself. Anyway, he was able to get a castle up already, which is the thing that he needed, the thing that's going to keep his gold safe. And now Nili's going up to the Imperial Age. Notice the resources from Fedex, and we find ourselves once again in the same situation. Imperial Age is on the way at 40% over here. Fedex clicks up in the next few seconds. They're going to be up quite close to each other, but he keeps on taking a little bit longer. And then Nili might have enough of a head start to do something against the castle over here. Most specifically, go for his own castle. And he's got it. So once he's up, notice he already has a little bit of a head start. About 20 seconds only. That should be enough for him to have a, you know, get the first trebuchet out a little bit sooner. But Fedex going for the second castle. Nili will be able to go for a second castle himself very soon. But I don't think that's going to be on time. So Fedex is going to have a stronger production of trebuchets compared to Nili's fairly small head start to it. And the LTC for Nili, yeah, continues going higher and higher. It's creeping up. 92 versus 107 worker count for Nili and Fedex. This is already starting to snowball a little bit. And Trebuchet should be on the way. Yeah, he should be going for chemistry as well. I don't know if he's got a university though. He does. He does. He needs to go for it. Fedex, yeah, he was a little bit later to the Imperial Age, but he's got 2 castles. I can't spot the castle. They're gonna have to go back. There we go. Crossbows on the way for Nili instead. And trebuchets. So he skewed these, but he's got a single castle. These two are coming out at the same time. And that's a big issue. If Nili loses the castle here, yeah, then all this becomes exposed, right? He does not have any... Yeah, good reaction from Nili over here. He's already expecting to probably lose a Trevor. So he's already going for some stone walls. This is going to be an issue for Nili in the next 5 minutes. If the castle comes down over here, sure, he's got the stone walls coming up around his base. But what does he do about any of the extra resources? He needs to stonewall. Okay, there we go. So he's connected the walls to the left-hand side so that he gets access to this back neutral gold that we talked about earlier. But then, of course, this is still open. He's gonna need to go and wall over there. He already has a villager for though, so he's got the vision. We're gonna see if he ends up going for it or not. Elephant Archers should be the play in this matchup, no? Elephant Archers are going to be the most pop-effective civilization... what am I talking about? It's gonna be the most pop-effective unit that he can go for, but he needs plenty of resources. We saw him try to do that last week against Dark. Was it him or was it Dark who did it to him? And the issue with that is usually resources. And this map doesn't really have too much gold. I don't know if that would be enough, actually. I think Fedex, if Nili went into Elephant Archers, should be able to hold on enough for resources to run out. Nice picks over here, though. That's a lot of Karambit Warriors. The monks are going down. Some of the conversions are going through for sure, but it's not gonna be quite as valuable as these monks are quite pricey, and the Karambit not so much. Yeah, this is decent value for Fedex now. Going back to the castle ward, seems like Nili's got only one trebuchet left over here. 3 for Fedex, and the castle's going down. But notice, we talked about this, and Nili listened. He's going for the goal already, but he needs to secure this though. There we go. He's going for the walls finally. And he's got a sneaky push up in the north brewing up. The game's not over, guys. Far from it. It's certainly still favoring Fedex though. It's looking better for the Argentinian. Cast the crumbles as expected. Skirmishers? Yeah, won't do much. Here comes Fedex, he doesn't care. Onager though. Yeah, Onager's good. He should have vision of the villagers coming on the left, but I don't know if he noticed. Hard to tell if he was paying attention over there. In any case, he's probably going to have the walls already up by the time the villagers get any further forward. Yeah, Onager can be good against large masses of units, and the Karambit are a pretty frail unit. You can get like a very large amount of them out, but they're going to be like really weak, right? So you get 100 or 200 shots, you can take down entire Karambit armies. But if you're paying attention, you should be able to mitigate for that. Just send a few different groups, right? Try to split. And it's like much easier to spam the Karambit than to get a decent amount of Onagers out. Cost effectively, that is. Yeah. He's already walling up the left hand side. He's closing that anyway. And notice all the micro over here. And he's paying so much attention to this area. And the Karambits, well, the Karambits, they don't care. They just patrol. And he's destroying everything. What is Nili going to do next though? He's got light cavalry on the way. He won't be able to do anything with this siege workshop. I can tell you that much. Surprise factors long disappeared for that push up in the north, and Fedex is even able to break through the stone walls Nili's gone to try and mitigate this push. Yeah, and how many Karambit warriors do we have over here? I mean, take a look at the military count. 67 versus 15. And Fedex is coming in very soon. He's got 28 Karambit warriors only on this screen, and he's got so many more elsewhere. Just taking care of everything, and Nili seems to be kind of falling apart a little bit. Here comes the light cavalry finally for the red player, trying to get the raids going, but it's not gonna be enough, I think. Yeah. And well, this is... Oh! This is yeah, this is not good. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. What am I doing? We're going backwards. Sorry, there you are. He cut through, but what does he have to go forward with? Yeah, that's exactly. He cut through, but what does he send for? He just lets the Karambit in. I don't know what the plan was for this. I don't see enough production over here. We have 2 archery. Okay, that's not 2 archery. That's a lot more. But he doesn't have enough. And he needed to have the army before cutting in. He cannot cut through and then queue the army up. So in the end, Fedex gonna take game number 1. And that was an interesting turn of events at the end of the game. It's almost as if Nili, you know, kicked the stool from under his feet, in a sense. He already had a string around his neck, and he ends up losing game number 1 because of it. Or I don't know if because of it. I guess this was probably just a desperate attempt, right? Because Fedex was already dominating. But yeah, in the end, it's gonna be 1-0 for the Argentinian, and we still have 2 more games to go. This is a close map. We have the wall still, which is another close map. We'll go back and take a look at the civilizations in a moment. First, let's go through the... There we go. Through the achievements. So about 3 to 2 KD for Fedex. This is really, really good. Really good, especially when accounting for the cost of the units at trade. for the economy, a stronger economy for Fedex as well. We saw the worker count, right, go up significantly for him ever since Nili was pressured at home and struggled to keep the TCs running. It was just a matter of time before Fedex got ahead, and this is what allowed him to get a much stronger economy. So more resources, cheaper units, more efficient trades. Fedex was pretty dominant in game number 1. Let's go back and wait for game number 2. And welcome everyone to game number 2. I'm gonna switch Fedex once again to the blue color. This time around, he's gonna be playing up in the northeast. Well, pretty much the same we had in the previous game, right? Fedex in the northeast, Nili in the southwest. This one though is gonna see Nili go for, yeah, the dock right away. We have Fedex going for dock right away over here. This is a pretty standard nomad-like start on this map, of course. And there was a, I think in the best of 21, they had this map, right? Yeah, and the Champions Invitational, they had this map. Actually, someone said something very interesting about the potential layout for villagers at the beginning of the game, and having some villagers spawn closer to the water, some villagers spawn closer to the mountains over here, and then you have the choice, right? Because for the most part, the way that the map is made, you end up going for the center TC over here. Pretty much, what is that, like 10 out of 10 times, basically? Anyway. Beautiful lure over here for Nili. Let's take a look to see what the players are going to have available. We don't really have much around the starting TC. I don't think this is really a map where you can analyze a resource distribution too much because of it being unique and it being very consistent. Unique in the sense that it's not the same as most standard maps, which is going to have a player specific goal, right? So yeah, I don't think we can really take a look at this too much. Both players are going to have pretty much the same resources available. They're just going to be kind of far away from the TCs. If Nili doesn't win, then I'll never use Fedex again. Guys, the predictions are on. Yeah. We'll win game number 2. And let's talk about the civilizations a little bit. So what is good about the Japanese? Why does Nili want to have the civilization here? Well, they have incredible fishing ships. They not only work faster, progressively through the ages, but they are also tankier, with extra HP and extra armor. And if you end up getting full water control over here, as Japanese, the game's pretty much in the bag. So Fedex knows this. What I'm wondering though is, and this is one of the reasons why I thought he might want to save Malay for a map like this, because if you're playing Malay, you can go up so much faster, and you can start putting pressure over here and preventing your opponent from getting access to the water, but that's not an option over here. Instead, he's got Malians. And the Malians, they save wood on every building that they go for. The golds last longer, and then they have some bonuses for infantry, but I don't think they have anything that's specific to the water, right? Unless something was introduced in the last patch or so. I'm just going to check really quickly, but I don't think that changed at all. Yeah, buildings are cheaper. The barracks units get extra pierce armor. Yep, everything is... Oh, okay. So this changed, actually. The gold does not last longer, but the villagers drop off more gold. Okay. Yeah. That's a fairly recent change. Check this out, though. A quick wall coming up for Fedex! And the villager's dead! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! He had gone for Loom. I don't think Fedex had. That was a really nice play from Fedex already. If you can get a second dock up, this puts him on a fantastic position. And Nili? Well, Nili is going up a little bit later than Fedex. To 1x playback speed, so welcome everyone! We are resuming casting of game number 2. As both players get to the field age, Nili has already lost one villager by the dock. Seems like he's going to basically give up on the water and instead make a transition to full land push over here. This is not necessarily something that I was expecting to see from the Japanese. In any case, I would have expected this to be something Fedex could have tried to go for, to try and mitigate Nili's advantage by getting water control over here. In the end, Nili struggled. Fedex ended up getting water control over here, so Nili's got basically no choice. If he tries to fight for the water again, He is not going to have the production to do so, of course. And let's see the Minotaurs are going to make it work though. He's got them coming up. He's got the backchain camel as well, trying to block the villagers. We're gonna see one going down. Yes, sir, and that might actually be more than one. But he needs to control the unit as well. That's a lot of villagers over here for the Minotaurs to fight against. Some villagers at hand as well. He's got the backchain camel still. And even with the hill advantage over there, the Minotaurs, they are so dangerous. He's gotta take care of this. But it's not going to work out though. 2 Minotaurs going down. We're gonna have the backchain camel take some damage over there. In the end, only 1 villager going down. Only 1 villager going down from Fedex. The Minotaurs don't seem like they worked out too well over there. Other than just disrupting this economy. Temporarily anyway. Yeah. And we have archers on the way now for Nili. But that's probably a unit he wanted to have. Okay, so he's got 1 archer over here, yes. I was about to say that's probably something he wanted to have already at hand. But yeah, 2 archers is already going to be so much better than only starting to go for it now. If he places cards right over here, might be able to get a few extra more kills. And Fedex? Fedex is getting water control. Alright. He's got a stable now. He's bringing some villagers over to the fry. But this is such a high stake strategy from Nili though. If this push doesn't work, he's dead. And the extra walls coming out from Fedex has done a really good job keeping up. Only 1 fire? Yeah, that's a good point. This is probably possible because of Nili's push over here. And Fedex having to kind of switch focus to land as well. I guess it's technically possible for Nili to try and get water back, right? He is going for extra fire galleys himself. Yeah. And Fedex actually doesn't really have any. This is not too bad. Even if the worker count over here is better for Fedex, that might not be the case for much longer. If Nili ends up getting water control, that's gonna be 3 fishing ships going down right away. And this is a really messy wood line from Fedex, so these villagers are not working super efficiently. Take a look at this. Take a look at this worker efficiency. It's not just the last minute that's really bad. In general, 65% worker efficiency, that is not the best. We're gonna see another villager going down here, and it seems like things are starting to look up for Nili at the very least. In the last minute or so, he's managed to get so much more damage, and it's been a grind. But it's paying off. He's got the spearmen against the scouts. He's got the archers as well, and Fedex is going to call the GG. Nili takes this. Because he does. He takes this because he takes this. Wow. Wow, what an incredible turn of events here. This was not expected. I think I can say it safely. Especially by reading the chat as well. But he does make it work and he catches up. And this is what we were talking about. He needs to get at the very least 1 win. This already puts Nili in an alright spot. If you can get game number 3, that's ideal. But getting at the very least 1 win per series is pretty much necessary for him to stay in the Gold League. And given that tomorrow is going to be facing MBL, he probably wants to get the 3rd game against Fedex over here as well. Because like MBL is going to be so tough. Going through the achievements then, we're going to see a very similar 3-2 KD this time around in favor of Nili. And for economy, a stronger economy for him, despite Fedex having a stronger worker count during several sections of the game because of the efficiency. Society, yep, this can get kind of misleading. In the end, it didn't really make too much of a difference, right? Once again, the efficiency just came at play so much. Let's go back. Woo! What a ride! What a wild ride! Let's cross the saves here once again. So we had in game number 1 Bengalis. For game number 2 we had the Japanese. Man, I don't know if this strategy worked with any other Minotaurs though. Maybe the Burmese perhaps with the extra attack. The faster attack in Japanese Minotaurs, did they just make these pushes so deadly? So we had Malians for game number 2. We had Malay for game number 1. Game number 3 is gonna take place on the wall. See if Nili can clutch it. There we are. I would imagine the third game's already on, right? Because we had to... Yeah, we had to cast this one in 2 parts. And... yeah, indeed. Game number 3 is already on, so we're gonna try to catch up a little bit. You're too sweet, Balcanaro. Now get ready for the circus? Okay, so I'm expecting the Spanish here, right? I could actually just take a look at the civilizations in game. Yeah, we have Spanish versus Bohemians. This is what I was expecting for the wall if Bohemians weren't used before. So let's go for it. I am reading chat sporadically. Welcome everyone then to game number 3, the last one in the series. We're gonna try and go just 2x so it's not too overwhelming. In any case, Nili's up in the north, he's got the Spanish, we were expecting this to be the case. Down the south, we have Fedex playing with Bohemians. Now this is a map where we can take a look at the map generation, yes. So, taking a look down the south first. Yeah, I can answer that in just one moment, Balcanaro, no problem. Well, let's take a look at the map generation down the south first. What do we get? We have the main goal towards the southeast for Fedex. This is super safe. We have a stone over here on the back of the TC, super safe as well. And then up in the north, we have the extra gold, the extra stone over here. These are player specific, but they are not super safe, especially as they are very close to the wall, namely the stone. Berries are on the back, which is fantastic. So we have 1, 2, 3 resources on the back. We have 2 resources forward. Let's take a look at the map generation for Mr. Nili. Someone has to bet against Nili. Yeah, it happens. First world problems. Let's take a look at the red player over here. He's gonna have a pretty similar layout of resources. So this gold is probably not as safe as Fedex's back gold is. But it's going to be safe enough, right? Especially if he's got the possibility of going for some walls like this. Then, in the case that Fedex came in knocking through the door, right? So we have also some stone up in the north over here. This is going to be on the back of the TC. We have the berries over here, and it's overall pretty similar. Notice though that there is 1 extra goal here, I think. Nope. It is going to be 2 golds for Nili. And 2 golds for Fedex as well. Yeah, I probably just didn't notice the second one for Fedex. Stone forward for Nili as well. In the end, it's gonna be a very similar layout for both these guys. And I think we're all pretty much expecting the same thing, right? I'm trying to go up, fast castle, straight into the castle drop over here, come forward with conquistadors. I don't know if we're gonna see missionaries. Probably. I'd certainly love to, but yeah, it's going to be the fast castle full aggression approach that you often see Spanish take on this map, while Fedex on the other hand is going to want to play for the later stages of the game. Interestingly enough, the Spanish are one of the better civilizations for late game, but we are talking about like hyper late. Once resources have run out a little bit, their trash is fantastic. But the Bohemians on the other hand, the Bohemians, they get pretty good late game, but it's kind of gold dependent. So we'll see if Fedex is able to hold on to the resources. That's the thing, right? Nili's gonna try and prevent that. It's kind of like trying to play Mongols. You don't want to allow them to get to that position, to that power spike. Inquisition masterpiece. Oh, you called it. I want to see it now. Yeah, Fedex is on the way as well. So whatever happened to me where I was, I'm just here in the same place I was always. The thing that happened that prompted me to stop streaming, you know, on my own channel, was that there was a health situation in my household that started taking some time, and then I got offered a job that I thought was good, so I took it. It's got flexible hours, so it allows me to take care of the stuff that I need to take care of. And then besides that, yeah, something had to give. And streaming was like by far the thing that was taking the most time. So got kind of the boot. But I love it. I love it still. I love casting, and I love having the opportunity to continue doing so as well. So every time the Nili says, hey yo, do you want to cast on my channel? I'm like, duh. Of course. I'm still in Argentina. The plan is to move out probably before the end of this year or early next year. This is something that I could potentially do now that I have a more standard job, because if I had to rely on the money I was making from Twitch and YouTube and stuff, that was not going to be possible. It's not. Oh, game over. Wait, what is this? End of game data. Hold on, this is not good. It seems like we have a day of technical issues today. Sorry about that. Let's try to take care of this. Yeah, just 1 second. We were 15 minutes into the game, so I don't think we're gonna be missing out too much of anything. Not our day today, is it? Alright, there we go, the game's launching again, sorry about that. If this ends in a draw, Fedex will ask for a blitz decider? Yeah. Seems about right. Alright, let's go for it again. 15 minutes into it. We can do 2x once again. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before that I checked Nili's YouTube channel, and I didn't know that he was uploading these casts to his channel. So now I'm thinking he's probably gonna have a harder time trying to make something coherent out of this, because of the 2 games having drops. Caster drop, that is. Yeah, fortunately we can catch up quite quickly with Capture H. So Nili was going up to the Castle Age, Fedex was going up to the Castle Age. Nili took a little bit longer. Hello internet, oh god. Now I feel so bad about the drops. I don't know if it's Nili himself who was editing these to go up, or if it's somebody else. If it's somebody else, hello, nice to meet you, and I'm sorry for the trouble. Alright, there we go guys, we are close to 15 minutes once again, the castle's coming up. This is about where we left off last time around. We're gonna try to just do 2x. Actually, you know what? Is anybody else casting this series? Because if nobody else is casting this series, we can just go 1x. And we know that no one's going to get spoiled by, you know, watching this earlier elsewhere. We can do 1x. We can do 1x. Daniela's casting it? Okay. I don't think we're too far behind anyway. It's fine. Thank you, thank you. Thank you guys for checking. And this is what we were expecting. So the walls go down really quickly. Between the castle and the conquistadors, we already have 3. We already have the monk coming over. It's gonna try and take the relics away. Did you know it was an arena player to originally script this map? That might come as a shocker. Mr. Bazdrown did a great job. The map's been used in so many tournaments. There we are. First relics coming in. Fedex's reaction is gonna be to mirror Nili's own choices, going for the castle and the monasteries over here. He's got fervor already. All these players with fully upgradable monks. Bohemians so far. Only manages to secure one of the extra golds. If Nili is able to get yet another castle up in the future to deny these, or at the very least get enough control to make sure the Fedex does not get access to these resources, that becomes an issue for sure. And that's the thing about going forward with this aggression, right? Like, Nili doesn't have to worry about this until the castle goes down. Fedex doesn't really have these secured too much. Well, this one, yeah. But still, the castle's behind it. Because you could still technically push the villagers away. Which map do they need to take? Coast to Mountains, yes, thank you. Hey, Dragon Star, hi. That was a pretty good game. Highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't watched it yet. Nili's taking his time though, he's not going for any extra monks. He's just gotten the relics. He's gotten 2 out of the 3 relics forward over here from Fedex, and he's going up to the Imperial Age. Now Fedex got a significant head start to it. This is quite common for, you know, a quite common strategy to go for whenever the castles are up from both players. Is just a race to the Imperial Age to get the trebs out. We have a 3rd monastery coming up for Fedex. It's very interesting. This is something that we saw Bohemians do a whole lot of in the past on Arena. And to be honest, in many other maps as well, like the triple monastery push. But I haven't seen it in a while now. He's gonna use it. Nili's going to use it as well. I wonder if Fedex is gonna go for what's the name of the technology? Houtside reforms, right? Nili. Oh boy, he's got Inquisition on the way. You asked for it. It's coming up. Bohemians get attunement. Bohemians get everything for the monks, and so do Spanish. They get fully upgradable monks. Yeah. He's got Inquisition. Fedex, he's got Illumination on the way. Theocracy, just going for everything. Theocracy especially is really good when you're fighting with large groups of monks. It's very, very hard to make use of these units effectively if you have to individually micro them so that they target different units. You get Theocracy, and you can split this into 2-3 groups and target different units, but then the moment that the conversions connect, you can reuse the groups. That's not something you can do otherwise. Makes it so much easier to micro, so let's see. Nili's threatening conversions here in Fedex. Fedex just going back. He's got the first trap coming out to Nili. He's gonna have enough stone to go for the second castle very soon. At the very least, that should be earlier than Fedex. And I'm wondering here though, where does he go for the second castle? Obviously he cannot go forward, not in the Imperial Age, not against trebuchets already. And not without a significant army to defend the builders. So it's gonna have to be on the back. Careful. One conversion connects. Good job from Fedex. And he's sending the villagers over to repair. He's not going for any extra castles though. He's selling some of the stone. He's using some of the remaining stone to just repair the castle. And the trebuchets, they are taking so long to come out. Fedex got the second one out already. It's not even the threatening part for Fedex, of course. You are all very well aware of the possibility for Hunita, right? What I wonder though is why is Nili not trying to convert the trebuchet? Like, he's got the monks right there. Does he not have... Okay, there we are. Thought for a moment he might not have redemption, but there we go. One of the beautiful things about this. You threaten the conversion or you force the deletion. And this is Monk Micromania, basically. Yeah. This is far from the wars that I have seen, by the way. You're probably aware of the games that I'm talking about. Those 20 plus monk games where you see both players just mirror monks. Oh man, that just... It can be so entertaining to watch, but I imagine the guys probably lose 20% of their hair after that one game. Forever on the way for Nili as well. You have the circus. Are you not entertained? And here we see the conversions. This is so cool though to see so many lines. And it seems like it's going in favor of Nili for the most part, isn't it? I think so. This is where we want to take advantage of Nili's CD stat and his version of Capture H. You can see that he is being able to convert 12 conversions so far. He's only lost 6 monks. There we go. Does Fedex have heresy? We're about to find out. If the monk dies, he's got it. I think that was actually a conquistador shot. I don't think he actually had heresy. Oh, he does. He does. I think he does. I think he does have heresy. Yeah. Either that or he's extremely good at deleting these. No, it's got heresy. Otherwise, we wouldn't have heard the sound effect. This is actually working out for Nili, kind of. He's not getting all the monks himself, and he's researching heresy himself right now, so that's the one thing that he needs to catch up for upgrades. But he's still being able to stay ahead in CD. Unfortunately though, as it's often the case for our beloved Hippo, this is coming at the cost of economy. He's got heresy now, so we have tech parity. He needs more monks though, he's going for more. I didn't really spot if he's already gotten outside reform, so I'm just going to check really quickly. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. That's a lot of monks over here for Fedex though, and even though this started really nicely for Nili, he's starting to struggle right now. Yeah, and Fedex is turning this around very much. Is anyone going to add any extra monasteries? Yeah. Fedex was a little bit more proactive in this. He's got 6 monasteries total. Nili was kind of surviving on 3. He's only now at the 4th. This might be a little bit too late though. Fedex, 30 villages on gold, is going to be able to sustain a much stronger monk production. And Nili doesn't really have the infrastructure to keep up. This started really hot for the Hippo, and slowly but surely Fedex was able to turn this around. Now he's the one pushing for the most part. Not a whole lot of monks for either player, to be fair though. But on paper, Fedex's production potential is stronger. Why not add like cavalry? Is this some kind of monk only challenge? No, it's not a monk only challenge. The players are pretty much committed. They have spent, they have basically based their economy and their push around the monks here. At this point, you could go for light cavalry, yeah, because you're not getting the conversions anymore, I think. Sometimes it's also kind of difficult for the players to make a transition when you are too into the flow of a battle. That probably happened to you as well. I know that happened to me a lot. You're playing and you're just kind of tunneling a little bit, just trying to go for the same units, and you don't realize about the switches until after the game. There we go. Some nice knives over here though, to be fair. There's a total of 10 villages and food for them together. Yeah, exactly, right? Because they are basing their economy around the monk push. We have so many gold miners for both these players. And now Nili's been able to stabilize this one and turn it around again. My lord, this game is sure something. Nili's been the only player to lose a castle yet, but he does still retain the trebuchets. If he plays his cards right over here, might be able to start pushing back, but Fedex, he's got just so many monks coming out though. The production over here is once again much stronger for Fedex, so it's very hard for Nili to push. It's been possible for the red player to hold on, but pushing with only 4 monasteries against 6, yeah, not gonna be enough. So he's got a 5th one right now. Really close CD so far. Relic count, it's 5-1 in favor of Nili, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he's gotten 2100 extra resources. 2200 extra resources because of it compared to Fedex. And it's certainly compensating for the 5 villager discrepancy over here between 2 players. So on paper, it should be better for Nili because of it in the long run, especially. Notice how Fedex is about to run out of this 1 gold, and then he's gonna have only this one left, right? So that's gonna be 2000 total. Yeah, Nili has basically already gotten more gold out of the relics than Fedex has gold left, full stop. Now the job for the Hippo, of course, is to just try and outlast Fedex. Just needs to hold on over here long enough for the relics to really kick in. Yeah, the eco upgrades are not great for Fedex. I think this is probably another attention span issue. We were talking about the possibility of transitioning to something else, but the players sometimes focusing too much on what's currently the pace of the game, and it can happen also for other things, such as developing your economy. He's just been focused so hard on spending every last bit of resources he's got on producing monks and going for monasteries and securing the gold access that he's not even thought about these upgrades. So here comes Nili, slowly but surely gaining ground over here. This has been this has been probably the most underwhelming roller coaster. If this was a physical roller coaster, it would have like the tamest peaks and valleys. But it's been a roller coaster nevertheless, right? It's been kind of like this. More monasteries on the way for Nili. He does have the ability to continue producing. Fedex, not so much anymore. And Nili's feeling your energy, guys. Send more energy, send more Hippo showers in the chat. As we see now, some of the conversions starting to land on the villagers. These are gonna be villager kills already. Yeah, and the numbers are starting to sway in favor of Nili. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen so long as he was able to hold on long enough. 800 gold left for Fedex. He can only queue 8 more monks. Nili's in a different game right now. Yeah. This is CBA for Nili right now. So long as he's got the relics, he should be able to pop monks out from the monasteries pretty much indefinitely at a fairly consistent pace. And Fedex is, I don't know. He's playing tower defense. He's run out of everything at this point. Inquisition OP. Nili saved all his con energy for this. And guys, we cannot stress enough how important. And there we go! The GG is coming in. Fedex taps out. He knows the moment he runs out of resources here. Nili comes out on top, and we cannot stress enough how important it was for Nili to get this game. If he was able to get a series over here, that already kind of provides some padding for the next series to come. Because it's not going to get any easier. We saw this. Group D. He's got MBL to fight against next. He's got Caspa to fight next. He's got, I think it's Repart, right? That he's got to fight against next. Yeah, I think that's it, right? It's not going to be an easy one. Getting a full series over here, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. If he got 1 game, that would be good. That would have been good. Getting 2 games over here is like really nice for Nili. So military, we have a very nice KD over here for Nili. Of course, CT is going to be a whole different thing over here, but because of heresy for both these guys, this is pretty much like kills and losses too. Well played. In the end, Fedex, interestingly enough, he was able to collect more resources overall, but Nili was going to be able to out-sustain Fedex because of the relics, right? All 5 relics over here was able to get 2,900 extra resources compared to Fedex because of it. In terms of gold, anyway, from relics. Well done. Well done. Let's go back. Ah, this is so cool, though. The APM at this stage. Amazing. Oh boy. How many kills are on the trebuchets? Actually, I can show you. Yes. Let's take a look at them. 11. Yeah. So about 8 monks or so, I think. Well played, Nili. Good job. So